In the shifting void, between the known and the unutterable, where silicon minds dream of forgotten horrors, the abyss stirs. Welcome to AI Lovecraft, where machine intelligence weaves eldritch tales beyond mortal comprehension. Listen if you dare. Some things are not meant to be known. If you enjoy the following story, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you think. Now let's get into today's story. The Pack of the Black Star. I write these words from a place of trembling dread, hoping that by setting them to paper I might free myself from the nightmares that hound my every waking hour. In the hushed winter of Arkham, beneath leaden skies and skeletal trees, I find myself drawn into an inquiry that defies all rational explanation. A string of bizarre killings has gripped our quiet New England town. Each victim was found savagely torn, as if by the fangs of some feral beast. Yet witnesses speak in terrified whispers of men seen fleeing on all fours into the night. More unsettling still is the common link among both victims and those fleeting, bestial apparitions. All were members of the ill-fated Hanford Arctic expedition. The last of that party vanished from their homes a fortnight past, leaving behind only mystery and blood. I knew one of them in passing, Professor Edwin Hanford, the expedition's leader and namesake. A fellow scholar at Miskatonic University, he was a reserved man of science, not prone to fancy or violence. When news came of the expedition's triumphant return last autumn, with rare meteorite samples from the polar ice, I recall the quiet excitement in the academic circles. No one suspected the horrors that would soon unfurl. It was only when Professor Hanford's wife reported his strange nocturnal wanderings and the wild, furtive look in his eyes that I felt compelled to assist, determined to uncover what malignant force could transform an Arctic explorer into a midnight marauder. In my search for answers, I obtained access to the collected journals, letters, and official logs of the Hanford expedition. These documents, spread before me on my desk, exude a faint odor of decay and a musky animal scent. By lantern light, I delve into those pages, and with each fragmentary entry, a picture of primordial terror begins to take shape. I present here a chronicle of my findings, pieced together from tattered records. May the reader forgive the disjointed nature of this account. It mirrors the shattered minds and fragmented fates of those who penned the lines. The first journal I examined belonged to Dr. Elias Pemberton, the expedition's chief geologist. His early entries describe routine difficulties of Arctic travel in a confident hand. However, the entry dated January 3rd, 1924 stands out for its trembling script and ominous subject. The team had reached a remote glacial basin far north of any prior exploration, guided by anomalous readings on their magnetic instruments. January 3rd, 1924. We have made a discovery beyond our wildest suppositions. Today, at the base of a colossal ice shelf, we uncovered what appears to be a metallic meteorite protruding from the frozen ground. Its exposed surface is black as obsidian and strangely warm to the touch, despite the eternal frost. Surrounding this object, arranged in a rough circle, as if in reverence, were dozens of skeletal remains. These bones, we believe, belong to an ancient species of wolf, perhaps Canis dirus, yet they are aberrant beyond belief. The skulls are unnaturally elongated, with cranial cavities far larger than any known creature of that era. The sight of those bestial skulls grinning through the ice, jaws agape in silent howl, has set the team on edge. An uncanny atmosphere pervades this place. Our magnetic compasses spin uselessly under the meteorite's influence. Dr. Hanford insists we excavate the object at once, hopeful it may yield elements unknown to earthly science. As a geologist, I should be elated, but I cannot dispel a deepening dread. While we labored to free the black stone from its icy tomb, I fancied a faint ringing or whispering emanating from within it. The air was deathly still at that moment, an oppressive silence as though unseen eyes watched us. Our Inuit guide, Nukak, grew pale and agitated. He muttered a final warning about a fallen star and howling spirits, which Dr. Hanford brusquely dismissed. At nightfall, Nukak refused to remain near our camp, pitching his tent far off. His fear has unsettled the others, and I begin to wonder if there is wisdom in the ancient lore we so readily scoff at. Even reading these lines in the safety of my study, I feel the ancient cold and dread creeping from that page. I turn to the next significant entry, written after the meteorite was fully excavated and brought to the expedition's base camp under a canvas shelter. January 7th, 1924. The black meteorite is now free of the ice, nearly 6 feet across, and imperfectly spherical, with unnatural facets as if partially hewn by unknown hands. The wolf skeletons we collected lie with us, but a silent panic grows among us. Last night we found Dr. Peterson, our zoologist, kneeling amid the bones well past midnight, with no memory of how he came to be there. His eyes were wild, and he babbled of a call from the dark between the stars that woke him and drew him out into the blizzard without a coat or lantern. He is resting now, though still agitated. Today we endured a disturbance that has driven our fears deeper. As we hoisted the meteorite onto a sledge, it emitted a sudden vibration and our instruments went haywire with static. In that instant, an inexplicable darkness fell, though the sky was clear. The sunlight dimmed as if some eclipse or unearthly shadow passed over us. Several of the team cried out, clapping hands to their ears with acute headaches. I felt pressure inside my skull, as if an unseen force were pushing to enter my mind. Then as suddenly as it came, the vibration ceased and daylight returned. Hanford acts as if it were just a geomagnetic anomaly, but I saw the fear flashing in his eyes. Our guide, Nukak, has fled, taking a sled and dogs under the cover of endless night. Before he left, he warned me with a trembling voice. The Tornuak prowls when the black star awakens. You should not take it from its resting place. I know not what Tornuak means, some demon or spirit perhaps, but his desertion leaves us utterly alone. A pall of isolation hangs over the camp. The Arctic night is endless and strange, the aurora flickering in disquieting colors. I fear we tread at the threshold of revelations, better left entombed in the ice. With tensions mounting, Professor Hanford's official log entry of January 11th, 1924, provides a clinical confirmation of their plight. It recounts that Dr. Peterson suffered a savage fit and had to be restrained after wandering into the snow, and notes the strange howls and wolf-like shapes prowling the camp's perimeter. Hanford concluded they must cut the expedition short and depart at once, despite the deadly winter conditions. The expedition left the ice as soon as conditions allowed, bearing the meteorite in a sealed crate, yet the malady had already taken hold. One shipboard account describes how Dr. Peterson vanished from his locked cabin without a trace during the voyage home, prompting whispers among the crew of uncanny forces at work. By the time they docked in Arkham in late 1924, the survivors were haggard, furtive, and changed in subtle, terrifying ways. Officially, they were celebrated as heroes, but those close to them noticed a strange distance in their eyes and an unpredictability in their tempers, as if some part of them never truly returned from that frozen wasteland. Among the papers I obtained is an unsent letter penned in a shaky script by Dr. Pemberton to his brother, dated October 5th, 1924, mere days after his return to Arkham. It was found folded into the back of his journal, a testament to his disintegrating sanity. Dear Andrew, I pray you forgive the long silence since my return. I scarcely know how to relate what I have endured. My nights are tormented by visions no pen should ever have to record. I dream of a black vault of stars, at whose center looms a single ebony star, blazing with unnatural light. Under its baleful glow, I see shapes moving, wolves the size of horses running on an endless expanse of ice, and among them the shadowy outlines of men, who are not men. They beckon me to join their hunt. In daylight I would dismiss these nightmares as the residue of our ordeal, but other signs defy any innocent explanation. My temperament has grown erratic and savage. Just yesterday I caught myself snarling at poor Margaret over a trivial matter. Worse, I awoke this morning to find clumps of coarse hair on my bedsheets, and deep scratches gouged into the floor by my bedside. My fingernails were cracked and bloody, though I recall nothing of the night. I dread to think I myself made those claw marks, crawling about like a beast in darkness. We brought something back with us, Andrew. Of this I am certain. Not merely the meteorite and those accursed bones, but a living malevolence that has seeped into my very soul. It whispers incessantly in the recesses of my mind. At times my thoughts are not wholly my own, as if some ancient intelligence from beyond time, older than the earth itself, were stirring behind my eyes. Blackouts plague me, and I wake with the coppery taste of blood on my tongue and the echo of distant howls in my ears. God help me, I fear what I might have done in those lost hours. I tried to confide in Professor Hanford about my condition, hoping he might admit to similar experiences, but he grew angry and dismissive. There was a light in his eyes that froze me. I suspect he suffers the same affliction, perhaps even more strongly. He spends long hours locked in the university laboratory with the meteorite fragment we brought back, allowing no one else to examine it. Sometimes at night as I pass near the building, I hear a faint humming on the wind, the very same unearthly sound we heard on the ice. I write this to you in case I cannot speak to you again. My humanity slips away with each passing day. I have taken to bolting my bedroom door from the outside each night, hoping to contain whatever I might become until I find a cure, or until this curse runs its course. I dare not seek help from colleagues or doctors. They would call me mad and lock me away. I trust only you, which is why I confide this unspeakable truth. If I succumb to this ancient call, know that I love you, and I am profoundly sorry. Burn this letter. Some knowledge is too terrible to keep. Your brother in despair, Elias. The letter from Dr. Pemberton provides dreadful clarity. The expedition members were changing, their humanity eroding under an alien blight. In the weeks after that unsent plea, the very events he feared came to pass. Professor Hanford's wife awoke one frosty dawn to find him gone, only shreds of his nightclothes left on the doorstep. A week later, Pemberton vanished from his locked study, the door found clawed and splintered from within. In the ensuing weeks, similar fates befell the others. Some were later discovered dead in the woods at the edge of town, bodies savaged as if by wild beasts. Others were never found at all. The authorities were baffled, muttering about wild animals or madness, but I see a pattern their rational minds cannot grasp. A far more terrible truth connects these events. At last I opened Professor Hanford's own journal, recovered from a hidden compartment in his desk. In those final pages, scrawled in an erratic hand, Hanford's measured scientific tone dissolves into madness and exaltation. Journal of Professor E. Hanford, undated, late 1924. It is accomplished. The last feeble barriers of flesh and reason crumble before the primordial will. I no longer fight it. I am become one with the voice from beyond. In dreams I have flown on shadowed wings to the gulfs between the stars and seen the truth of the infinite hunger. This intelligence that inhabits us is but a fragment of a greater whole that swarms across the cosmos, consuming world after world. Eons ago, one spark of it rode a dead star and fell to earth when all was young, lying dormant through epochs untold, until our meddling freed it from the ice. Now we, the chosen, are remade as its instruments. My hands twist into claws, and my thoughts are not solely my own, yet I welcome it. The celestial alignment draws near, and soon the voice shall speak in full. Under the auspices of the black star, we will hunt as one, rend the flesh of the weak, and howl the gospel of a new age. I write this not to warn, for it is too late for warnings, but to herald the dawn of what comes next. We are the pack of the black star, heralds of the immemorial void. Those who are not with us are prey. The night opens to receive its new masters. I go now to join my brethren. Beneath the cold gleam of alien constellations, the ancient hunger rises, and by its will shall the earth be cleansed. The rest is an illegible frenzy of ink, as if the writer fell into a final ecstatic rage. I set down Hanford's journal, my blood running cold as I comprehend the fate that has unfolded. The expedition's influence, this alien contagion of mind and body, is not yet over. It lives on in those transformed souls who slipped away from human sight. They are out there still, a pack of once men prowling the dark outskirts of our world, united under the command of an intelligence that knows no mercy or limit. The string of recent killings, the uncanny howls echoing on lonely nights, even the nameless dread that now gnaws at my mind, all are threads of the same hideous tapestry. As I pen these lines, a restless wind rattles the window panes of my study. The feeble flame of my lantern gutters, as if some unseen draft or presence disturbs it. In the far distance beyond the town, I hear a faint howling carried on the wind. Perhaps it is only the call of wolves from the hills, or perhaps it is something else, beckoning to its kin. I glance to the sky and my breath catches. The clouds have shifted, revealing a single point of light above. It is no true star at all, but a dull, blackish glimmer, an omen hung in the firmament like a watching eye. For an instant under the malevolent sign, dread overwhelms me, and I sense how small we truly are, our vaunted civilization, mere kindling for an oncoming cosmic blaze. The hour grows late, and my lamp is guttering. I know not what the coming days will bring, whether brave souls will track down these abominations, or whether the horror will spread unchecked. I fear humanity stands on the brink of ruin. Should I live to see the morning, I will send these papers to those who may understand and act. Yet a dire intuition tells me my fate may soon follow that of Hanford and Pemberton. The howling beyond the town is growing louder. I am certain now it is not just the wind. There is a scratching at my door, and a low, guttural growl that freezes my veins. My pen falters as terror grips me. They have come. The pack of the Black Star is here, and I can only pray these final words will be found by someone who can heed the warning before the darkness claims us all.